Well, I really hope you've had a great New Year. Thanks for taking the time to watch the M3. This week is a week where a lot of us are reflecting upon our last year. And we look back over the last year and we kind of see where things went well and where things didn't go well. And it's really common for many of us to make resolutions and promises to ourselves and to others that in the next year things are going to be different. And that's a really good thing. And it's a good thing in our own spiritual life for us to look back and see, are we where we want to be? Have we lived the life we want to live? And are things we want to be? A lot of us, when we do that, we look back over the last year and the life that we lived is not the life that we wanted to live. And there are things that we have done and ways we've trapped ourselves. And there is kind of heaviness and anxiety or a depression even on our spiritual life. There is a great story. In fact, it's my favorite story in the Bible. And it comes from the book of Hosea, which is kind of a surprising book. Most of us don't pay a lot of attention to those guys. We call them minor prophets. But Hosea is a prophet who has been assigned by God this incredible task to marry a prostitute. But it's even more than that. He does marry a prostitute. Her name is Gomer, and which is a great name. And he marries Gomer, but Gomer is not faithful to him. She goes and chases off after the other men and gets herself trapped into that. And Hosea, he has the right to defend his honor and his pride. He could have his wife stoned. He could drive her away. Certainly nobody would expect him to continue to be in a relationship with this woman. She chases after her lovers, and she's got herself enslaved to them. But Hosea goes at God's command, and he does something incredible. He loves his wife. And he goes and he literally buys his wife back, and he takes the shame upon himself. One of the most dominant images in Scripture is that Jesus is a groom who is waiting for his bride. And he is a person who longs for a pure and spotless bride that he waits for. His church is who he's waiting for you and for I. And a lot of us, we're anything but pure and spotless. And we're anything but that far from what a righteous and holy groom would want. But you know what? Jesus is like the prophet Hosea who foreshadowed Jesus. And Jesus goes out and he seeks and he longs and he desires and he takes the shame of our sin, the shame of our failure upon himself that we might be that holy and righteous bride. This time of year is a great time of year to reflect upon our lives and to ask ourselves if we're where we want to be. And you know what? It is Jesus who is waiting for us and longs to take on whatever is going on, because you know what? We can't fix ourselves, but Jesus can. And he's willing to take on whatever shame, whatever burden that you carry. He's waiting to take it, and that you might be his pure and spotless bride. So this week, think about where you're at. And once again, let's come back to Jesus and let him be Jesus in your life. Have a great week. Hope to see you on Sunday in the new year. Enjoy.